We've just come a little bit further down from Lynne. I knew I'd get there in the end. And there's a beautiful waterfall that I've kind of seen a composition, but the sun's in slightly the wrong position for me. So I've spotted this, which almost has the effect of being an infinity pool. It's where the stream flows down and then it just drops off the edge of the cliff. And you've got the mountains in the background and quite a nice sky. Down here, on either side, there's a little fall, which I'm using as a very tentative lead line to pull you in. Then you've got some beautiful green rocks, and then it just takes you off the edge of the cliff to the mountains and sky. And I thought that looked quite nice. And I've got the 6-stop, the 2 ND grads, a hard and a soft edge, and the polarizer on. The wind is blowing, so I'm getting a bit of movement in the trees, which I'm not too worried about. There's just it's not possible really to do an ultra long exposure because the trees would just blur out completely, which really isn't going to be a good look. So yeah, quite liking that. I'm going to have a wander down. I spotted a bit of a composition, as I say, with the waterfall. It's whether I can manage to capture it and cut the sky out, because the sky is shooting directly into the sun. It's just not a goer for me. So yeah, quite liking that one. This is one of those scenes where I'm convinced there's an image to be had. The light is really, really fighting against me. I don't know how much of this you're going to see. We've got a gorgeous waterfall coming down. It's the main road up there. You might be able to see the cars parked over there. So we have the waterfall coming down here. It then sort of snakes round, runs across the front of the camera and disappears off, and it comes round in a bit of a curve. And the whole area is full of vibrant, rich green shades. We've got vibrant greens, we've got vibrant yellows, we've got mosses, we've got grass. The wind is blowing a bit, and there's a bunch of grass there which is getting blown about, which is kind of jury's out on that one. But my thought was the waterfall coming in top right hand corner. The waterfall then comes down through the middle of the image and curves around at the bottom and goes out the bottom left hand corner, which it kind of does. It goes out a little bit higher up rather than right slap bang in the corner of the left hand side of the image. The light source is up there. It's really harsh, and this patch of water here is catching it something wicked, and it's causing me a major headache. I've popped the polarizer on and I've turned it all the way on, and it's just about got rid of that sheen. I didn't want the 10-stop on because I wanted to try and retain some of the motion in this bit of the waterfall here. So I have gone to f16 5 seconds. Let me just have a look. And I think I'm quite happy with that. It's a long enough exposure that I've got some motion in the water, but it's also allowed me to bring out the beautiful rich greens. I've got the polarizer, I have the 6-stop, and I have a 0.6 hard grad pulled all the way down, which is a little bit of a bizarre combination, but it works. That's how I could really do with somewhere between a 6 and a 10-stop. rather than going straight for the 10 stop, which was going to be too long for what I wanted, even though we've got crazy harsh lights. But yeah, I quite like this. And the heather's coming out, which is really weird. It's the beginning of July, and I didn't think heather normally came out till August, September. Must be the strange weather we're having lately. So yeah, I'm just going to faff a little bit more with this. And I've just fiddled with one of the filters. I'm also having to shield the front of the lens and the filter holder because the glare is coming in off the sun. And it's a proper balancing act to not get my fingers in the shot. Oh, come on, that was only 5 seconds. Helps if you press the trigger a second time when you're on mirror up. Yeah, that's easing it a bit. For those of you who've been watching for a while, you'll know I am not a lover of shooting in the midday sun. The light is harsh, particularly during the summer months, maybe not so during the winter when we have overcast, grey, cloudy, murky days where the sun really can't break through the cloud level or the cloud cover. But certainly in the summer, shooting in the midday light is really not something I have ever set out to do. Oh, and it's a tad breezy. I've come down to the wonderful Isle of Anglesey. It's the first time I've been here and it's not been raining. I used to come up here quite a lot in the good old days when I was following a group of racers around and doing photography for them. And it rained every goddamn time, or it was blowing a gale, or both. So to come here and it actually be relatively warm, blue skies, fluffy clouds, up here at least, it's quite pleasant. There is a cool breeze, which is why I've got my jacket on, because I'm a bit of a wuss. Now the sun is almost directly overhead, and the object that I've come down to shoot is the church in the sea, which is a cracking little place. I don't mind getting wander out there once the tide's out. The tide's moving quite quickly, and the water, I really don't know if this will pick it up, but over here the water is the most gorgeous turquoisey blue colour. It's absolutely wonderful. So I'm having a play and we're going to see what we can come up with. Now, in the time that I was talking to you, the tide has gone out a surprising amount. It's about 1 hour and 3/4 since high tide, and it was a low high tide. So I've fired off a couple of shots. I'm not even going to attempt to show you because the light is so harsh. I did one really wide shot, which I think I quite like, given that I can't really see the camera screen. But I was shooting at, oh Lord above, where are we? F13, 30 seconds, I've got the 10 stop on and a 0.6 hard grad. And I think I kind of like them. As I say, shooting in the harsh midday light is never ideal. I think any photographer, if you ask them if they had a choice, they would choose sunrise, sunset, the golden hours. I'm sorry you can't see me then. Because the sun is overhead, it's really difficult to know where to stand so that you can actually see me. But yeah, the basic composition, if you can see it, there's a line of rocks that lead out in a curve to the church. And when I started shooting here, this rocky area here was completely underwater, and that's disappeared in sort of 10 minutes. So it's not the most startling composition in the world, but it was pretty much all that was open to me, given I haven't got my welly gogs on, which I should have come down with. But yeah, I think I kind of quite like that. I'm going to have to see what it's like in processing. it was always going to be mono. The tide, or the water is very, very calm, so I wasn't getting any crashing water over the rocks. And the long exposure just smoothed out the last few ripples of the water. And where you have the seaweed coming through, that was creating patterns of its own, which was quite nice. Well, ladies and gents, it's time for another subscriber's image. And this one, I have to say, I am incredibly jealous of. Sent in by Raymond Fitzpatrick, but it's a cracking image of a steam train with a full head of steam coming out I presume they're called chimneys. Beautiful. I have been after that type of image for a long time. I desperately want to get one done for my father, to get a picture made up for him, and I will do it. But yeah, I love this. The train's coming in at a beautiful angle. It's nice and sharp. The steam that coming out of the chimney looks perfect. So thank you very much, Raymond. That's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's good fun. The noise you can hear in the background, if indeed you can hear it, Anglesey circuit is just up here. I've actually got some friends racing up there today. Ah, the smell of bikes, and it's classic bikes. Lord above, do they make a noise. But there's not a finer racetrack, I don't think, in the world than Anglesey for the views that it offers. Right, I'm going to stop waffling and have a nosy round, see if I can find any other sort of minimal composition. I can't say that word today. If not, I shall take a wander back to Maddie and have a cup of tea.